Good morning, sunshine.
Welcome to the real world. Whoa! Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with free air. There's no second best, okay?
GM. Alright, trade of the day. Going to look at Bitcoin. And we will look at, starting from the daily, here's where we're at. We will look at trend analysis first. So we'll get these screens on here. And we'll look at, stop glitching. EMAs, go back out, put these on the entire layout. Bitcoin on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute. So BTC, looking at the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. So daily, we're coming back and holding at the bands. So your primary trend in this time frame will be the highest time frame, the daily. That's holding currently. The 4 hour is in an uptrend. The bands are red, so this is the last place for the bands to reject. I mentioned this yesterday. Said exactly this. You want to watch. Keep an eye on the 4 hour EMA trend. If it's going to have another leg down, I should say have another leg down, not above, it will likely reject here at the bands. If it can get above and start to flip them, bottom is probably confirmed. The next dip would be a buy. So pushing into the 4 hour trend, the 4 hour bands, is where it will reject to go to new lows if it's going to. So what it did was it pushed into those bands and did so far reject. So while you have a 50, 100, 200 bullish, and it held the 100, right? It wicked below and respected the 100 and went to new highs. It came back to the 100. It trapped below, has got back above. So if it clears above the 50, which again would also be above the bands, if Bitcoin gets above 69.5 and holds, that would set up a move to a new high. Based on the trend structure of what it's respecting, it is respecting the 100. Respecting the 100 makes a new high. Respect the 100. If it gets back above 69.5 and 70, you'd expect it to make a new high. If it doesn't, the 4 hour EMAs are what's in the way. That can lead to a final push down, which maybe goes to the 200 EMA or down to market structure levels, down to daily retests, whatever you want to call it. The 1 hour bands are now bearish. You have the 200 above the 100 above the 50. So the 1 hour trend is officially in a downtrend. And the 15 minute, of course, is also in a downtrend. So these are levels that need to flip. So the 15 minute, having been in a strong downtrend, is now moving towards a sideways compression. That's good. You need price to get above and start to hold and consolidate for it to be able to flip that back into bullish. So as we sit today, you have bullish daily. You have bullish 4 hour from a 50, 100, 200 perspective. You have a bearish 1 hour and a bearish 15 minute. So intraday, your expectation would be actually for downside because the 15 minutes bearish, the 1 hour is bearish, and the 4 hour fast trend is bearish, the 1221, even though the 4 hour slow trend is bullish. So the high time frames are bullish, but the low time frames are bearish. You have to see those low time frames turning to be able to flip back into a bullish uptrend. So the way you would see that from a market structure perspective would be Bitcoin needs to clear back above here, hold, and then up it goes. So in fact, I just need to get rid of all of this shit over here. Bitcoin, if we're looking at this 4 hour trend, if it comes above and holds and does that, that would be a market structure shift on the 1 hour, 4 hour, sorry. That would also flip the 1 hour, 4 hour bands. Not 1 hour. That would also flip the 4 hour bands green, and it would put price back above the 50, 100, 200 into a full 4 hour reclaim trend. That then would make the daily chart look like this. You'd be over here. That then would also have the 1 hour bands getting bullish, and of course the 15 minute bands getting bullish. So moving up to 70, coming back and holding above 69, that's what's needed for Bitcoin to be setting up for a move to new highs. And then anything before then, until that happens, you're looking at a higher probability that the market goes lower, not higher. So you're looking at your structure levels in between. So if we zoom into the 15 minute, this is our local high here from a structure level. That's the last high that led to this lowest low on this 15-minute downtrend. This is a downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, right? But it's within a previous support, and it's not like it's trending lower aggressively. If it starts to break this level, then that's an undeniable 15-minute downtrend. Right now here, it is just consolidating and holding. So it needs to make its way above there, hold, to start to flip that. So you're watching this level, you're watching 69.1. That's the level to watch for the 15-minute structure to break. You're watching the 1 hour, and what have we got on the 1 hour? On the 1 hour, we've got a market structure break here. All right, so this is the 1 hour market structure level. There, that was the H1 MSB, which you see at this point. I'll take off the bands just so it's clear. You see this? This was the swing high that led to this lowest low. We broke back above it. We held it. We held it. So it has flipped the 1 hour back into an uptrend on the market structure basis, despite the bands being in a bearish formation. And then from this little downwards move, again, it is moving down, a low, a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. But it's all within the 1 hour market structure. So Bitcoin is definitely setting up and trying its best to start to build some constructive bullish structures through this range. Making a move above that 69.1 is the first sign of that. Getting the 4 hour bands back to bullish is the next sign of that. Getting towards this, I mean, you've got like a downward sloping trend line that you can see above, right? So getting out and above that will give it a chance to run towards the red line. So opportunities for BTC to reclaim. Key level here, the takeaway from this is you don't really want to be entering trades right here because you're in the middle of everything. You've got a previous resistance that's trying to flip into support. You've got a 1 hour structure break, but you've got bearish bands. You've got, a downtrend that's trying to recover. You've got a daily order block though and daily market structures. You've got daily support below. So there are bullish and bearish signs, almost in equal proportion. I'm going to check the order books as well. The order book depth over here. If you look on the 1 hour chart, it's okay. It's okay. What about deeper than that? It's like 2.5%. It's all right. So the top here, top bar is spot books. This is futures, perpetual futures. So basically you want to see the bigger these green bars are, the bigger the delta, the difference between bids and asks. So the higher it is, essentially, within 2.5% up and down, you have a higher proportion of buy orders than sell orders. So pretty good, right? You don't want to see it like this, super red. When it was super red on the way up, that means there's not much support below relative to the resistance above for spot. We topped out, we dropped back. Once it started dropping back, support comes in. Support comes in, support comes in, and the downtrend slowing and slowing and slowing. So it is a good sign that the market sees buyers step back in on the limit side as price is dropping. And it's still there, which is good. That's fine. You want to see how it moves if we start to move up. If we start to move up towards 70 and you see this flipping red again, that means sellers again are willing to step in. It doesn't mean they're going to be right, but when you move up, sellers step in. When you drop back, the buyers step in. When you move up, the sellers step in. When you drop back, the buyers step in. Following pretty well for Bitcoin. That should be a good sign, and we'll see how that goes. So Bitcoin, few paths there. 15-minute and 1 hour needs to flip. 4 hour needs to flip those bands. Then we'll be setting ourselves up for a move higher. GM.